Trivia has begun. And you know what else we're about to begin? Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers. For the Windows 3.5. I don't know what this was originally on. It's playing in DOSBox though. Apparently this was an old Sierra game. I don't know anything. Yeah, Sierra. I don't know anything about this game. I should probably look up a guide. I assume it's not that bad. We're all gonna die. Based on the music, yeah, probably. It says Sins of the Fathers. Oh, there's a 20th anniversary edition. Interesting. And the music just stopped. How long does it loop before it gives up? On it might have crashed because it's been playing for 20 minutes. Intro? Restore? Here, while I look up a guide. Unless the music unless all of it gave up. Let's watch the intro. I hope it's voiced. It's probably not. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is like a 320 by 240. It's much bigger in the preview window in OBS than it is on my computer desktop. Holy cow, what is going on, man? I thought Claude was telling us Happy Chaos Valentine. I was like, it's not Valentine's. I was like, oh wait. I meant to point this out earlier and I forgot. So I don't know anything about this game, but I've heard of Gabriel Knight. But I always assumed that it was like a first-person, like, Might and Magic, like, RPG, like, dungeon crawling kind of thing. I basically always just assumed it was essentially Might and Magic. Chaos Valentine is White Day. Yeah, it's a puzzle adventure game by Sierra. Gabriel Biblical Knight equals detective. Exactly. Mark Hamill. I know that guy. He plays the Joker. Michael Dorn. I don't know that guy. All these names are probably spoilers. Now I can't stop thinking about White Day. So I was originally introduced to White Day through Phantasy Star Online. And through that, I eventually was led to play the game White Day, which is a survival horror. Well, not survival. Well, I guess it is technically survival horror. It's a horror game. It takes place on White Day. You're trying to deliver chocolate to this girl. I eventually speedran the game. Yo, Daz 1. I dreamt of blood upon the shore, of eyes that spoke of sin. The lake was smooth and deep and black, as was her scented skin. Da 41.
I bet. Just a minute. It lives, I see. Do you want to speak with Lolita?
Delita?
I'm sorry, but Gabriel is allowed. Oh, I mean, he's out. Yeah, if he ever comes back, I'll tell him. You know, you could do better. I know I don't know you, but you could do better. Good morning. The phone's been ringing off the hook all morning.
There's no options.
You want your messages.
Yeah.
Gee, you're lively. Did you have another nightmare last night?
Sort of.
I told you it's that voodoo book you're researching. That stuff can seriously screw up your karma.
I'm sure that's it. Maybe I should write a horror novel on passive resistance instead.
So don't sleep.
Yeah, I'll see. There was no options at the title, so.
Came today.
Really? Great.
I can't wait to see what human rights you violate with this one.
I can't wait to violate them. For example, if you would just let me...
And I located some local voodoo references for you. Dixieland Drugstore and the Historical Museum of Voodoo. Both are right here in French Quarter.
Voodoo?
How would I ever manage
Monkey
without
Island?
You? Give me a break. The devil himself couldn't change you.
Well, if the devil had great legs, perhaps, like yours.
And
That's
a
this guy.
riveting personality, I'm sure. Well, if you need
The devil
more
does
research
have great
done,
legs.
just
Haven't you
ask.
played
It's not as though we're
Helltaker?
swamped with customers.
Alright. Turn that music down. Turn that text up. Text on. Voice on. Narrator voice. Narrator voice? Question mark. This is the Sierra website. RS reload save hint. What is this? Oh, restart. Save. Trivia. Oh god. Trivia? Keyboards are hard. Y'all don't like narrator voice? Nobody here's watched Kaguya-sama. I love narrator voice. Alright, so let's go through the curtains.
The curtain doesn't provide much privacy, but Gabriel's rarely in his bedroom during shop hours anyway.
Love is war. Kaguya-sama. Wait, was that the narrator?
There's no one here to talk to.
Is that the, is that the voodoo lady from Monkey Island?
The curtain door leads to the bookshop proper.
I'm pretty sure it is. The hair gel from the medicine cabinet. I can't make out what these icons are.
I'll take this hair gel. You never know when you'll need a touch-up.
Flashlight. We're 2 rooms in, and
Flashlight.
I'm already really glad that I have a guide, because, like, look at all the things you can click on in this room. I'm gonna click on
Gabriel
this.
might as well leave that here. Gabriel might as well leave that here.
Like, there's so many things.
Gabriel doesn't want to take the truck with him.
There's just so many random
Gabriel
things.
might as well leave that here.
I would go insane after clicking on everything just in this room alone. And hearing like, Gabriel might as well leave that here.
Gabriel doesn't need anything from the bookshelf. Gabriel doesn't need anything from the bookshelf.
Alright, anyways.
Gabriel might as
Oh, God. How does she know? Play Monkey Island 5 to find out. What the F?
The books cannot be operated.
What?
There's no one in that. Gabriel cannot take that. Gabriel's had all those books in the bathroom and doesn't care to read them again. Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Let's see, Mittag means midday, noon.
And now proficient in German. Yeah, luckily we got...
Gabriel pulls down a book on snakes.
Snakes are legless reptiles. Some snakes kill their prey with poison, some by constriction. A snake smells by tasting the air with its forked tongue. The smells are passed back to a sense organ in the mouth. Constrictor snakes, however, sense their prey by vibration.
Did you know that medieval legends about dragons and giant worms are actually based on snakes? You know, dragons, devils, sea monsters, well, they've always been associated with snakes.
Grace, get a life.
Wow. What? What? Where is that from? Wow. I recognize Grace's VA from somewhere.
Gabriel doesn't need the ashtray.
This game has a personality, alright.
Mind if I borrow the magnifying glass?
No, Sherlock. Just bring it back when we get the next estate shipment.
No problem. I'm gonna take the tweezers for a bit.
Good. You're beginning to look a little scruffy.
Just trying to make you feel at home.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's certainly light enough, but rather useless, as Gabriel well knows. Wishful thinking.
Right.
There is... Gabriel would love to move his cash register to Nordstrom's. The cash register is silent, as usual. The cash...
Is this a foot icon? Where is he going? Where the F is he going? Okay.
It's certainly... Gabriel does...
Hello? It says,
Wishful...
Let's open the cash register to get the gift certificate.
Gabriel doesn't even... Wish...
It's a coffee
The
maker.
coffee has already been made. Wishful think.
I'm doing the best I can. Hey,
Oh, is he clicking on himself?
It's certainly... It's... Gabriel wouldn't dare touch Grace's oil paints.
I don't. It says get the. I'm kind of talking to her.
got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Voodoo.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I didn't know much of anything about it until you started researching it for your book. Now I know that it's active in the city. There's that shop and museum. It can clearly be dangerous in the wrong hands. You should be careful investigating it.
Voodoo Murders.
What do you know about the Voodoo Murders?
Just what I read in the paper, same as you.
New Orleans.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Well, I've only been here 2 months, but I love it. It's so much more alive than any place I've been. It feels like anything's possible here.
Conan. The anime?
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
Yeah, right, Knight.
I mean it.
What do you want to know?
Too bad Seawalker's not here to answer this question. If only Seawalker was here to know anything about Rhapsody: A Musical Adventure. How come we have... what? Hold on.
Just tell me anything at all.
I just got my master's in history and classics. My folks wanted me to go on right away for my PhD, but 18 years of school was enough. I needed a break.
18 years of school. Oh, she probably also... yes. Okay. I thought she was in college or whatever for 18 years.
What do you do after work?
Well, I either go to my oil painting class or my Tai Chi. You know that.
You know, you can go aboard with this improving yourself stuff. You don't want to alienate us mere mortals.
I suppose I should just allow my mind and body to atrophy.
Works for me. Nothing, I guess. Never mind.
Suit yourself.
Do you have messages for me?
Dana called, and Susie left a message about a lawsuit.
Awesome.
Okie dokie. There's more when you want them.
Do you have more messages for me?
Your grandmother called.
I keep meaning to get over there. What did she say? Did she sound good?
She sounded great, and we had a nice little chat about you.
Grace.
Don't worry. I didn't go into detail about your cardinal sins. Not that anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
But she said to remind you to stop by and go through your father's things.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah.
Do you have more messages for me?
Here's a strange one. You got a call from someone named Wolfgang Ritter? He said he was calling from Germany. He told me it was urgent, maybe you should give him a call.
Call Germany, like hell. If it's really important, he'll call back.
Well, fine. Let's just hope he's not with the German lottery for pitiful American authors.
Do you have more messages for me?
Your friend Detective Mosley called. Talking of visiting.
Especially with you. What do you want?
He left an interesting message. He told me to tell you that his mother's maiden name is Humphrey. Oh, that's Humprey.
Fascinating.
And that he left some photos for you at the station, at the front desk.
It's about time.
Gabriel, those photos wouldn't have anything to do with the Voodoo Murders, would they?
Now, why would you say something like that?
Because I know you. You're getting privileged information, aren't you? Did you tell him you'd put him in your new voodoo book?
A writer has certain obligation to his readers, you know.
Gabriel, you know you'll never put him in your book. Your main character is a female orthodontist. You're gonna be reincarnated as a pit bull if you keep screwing with your karma.
As long as it's a male pit bull with a really big...
That's enough. Thanks. Anyway, that's all the messages. Thank God.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know, Chaos. We'll see where this goes. I need something from inside this drawer.
Wishful thing. Wish.
I need the gift certificate.
Gabriel doesn't... There is no... The gargoyle has no function but sheer ugliness. Not unlike... Never mind.
I'm looking at a different guide that says literally the same thing. Open the cash register to get this gift certificate. Which one of these is open?
Gabriel would love to move. Gabriel...
It's the heckin' door icon?
Gabriel opens the cash register to examine the take. Or, in the case of St. George's books, the mistake. It's a gift certificate left over from yet another dismal failure of a promotion.
I trust you can live without this old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
Okay. What was that got? Read the newspaper on the counter. Is this read?
There's no one in that part of the shop. Today's newspaper is on the counter. That doesn't work. Moving that would... There's no one in... Times-Picayune.
1993?
1993. The front page has an article about the Voodoo Murders. The article says that the victims are all identified as members of the underworld. The general public of New Orleans is in no danger. Police claim the so-called voodoo trappings found at the crime scenes are fake, a scare tactic, and that the murders are not associated with any genuine practitioners. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Potential storms ahead. Proceed with caution, and do not get involved with anything new at this time.
Right.
Okay. Sure I didn't miss anything.
I'll be back later.
Have fun.
All right. Going to Grandmother Knight's house. Napoleon house? Yo. Oh, this is not it. Am I missing something? So let's go to the grandmother's house. Let me check this other walkthrough. Oh god, this. Hold on.
Hello, beautiful. It's me.
Oh,
Click on the New
joy.
Orleans map. This also says to look at the paintings. This other guide.
3 snakes in a skull. Gabriel's father painted it.
What a wacky, offbeat kind of guy Daddy was.
Hey, kids.
Bruno, how nice.
Gee, a customer.
Of yours? Hardly.
How's the flower business?
Well, better than the used book business.
Hold on. This is something I don't think. Back.
I'll be back.
Have
Walker says to New Orleans map. Oh, thank you, Seawalker. There's 2 maps.
Gabriel, I'm so glad you stopped by.
Sorry it's been a while, Grandma.
Not at all. Give us a kiss. Now come and sit down. Tell me how you're doing.
I'm doing great, Grandma.
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? What an odd question, Gabriel. Of course, you always were interested in monster movies and all that other weird stuff. You get that from your father and Granddad. I don't know anything about it, dear. Of course, it was very big in New Orleans at one time, but you don't hear about it so much these days. Too much else in the world to worry about, I guess.
What do you know about the Voodoo Murders?
Oh, Gabriel, nothing. And I don't want to. I sometimes wonder what this world is coming to.
Alright, quick rant. I love when old people are like, I can't believe what this world is coming to. And I'm like, did you not pay attention to in history class? The world's always been effed up. You're just becoming more aware of it as people are more open about it, I guess. But it's like old people all the time. Oh no, the world's all like coming into shambles. It's always been that way. You were just sheltered your whole life.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is very southern. Of course, though, not as much as it used to be when I was a girl. It's gotten much more influenced by the East Coast.
Not as
and
much as when I
California
was a girl.
stuff. Still,
Uh-huh.
it hasn't changed as much as other places, I reckon. We've always been happy here.
God, old people. They think, like, it's funny how just, like, sheltered people were, like 100 years ago. Oh, yes, yeah, exactly, Suki. Like, there's a lot of people that just were really sheltered. They didn't realize there was a world outside of their own town. So they assumed that their own town is the whole world. So then when they find out that, like, there was stuff going on in their own town, they're like, oh, no, that's not real. I never heard of this. It's like... You do realize that this stuff has been going on for, like, 100 years. In your own town. You were just a kid. All you cared about was like eating crayons and like putting glue on ants. Yeah, exactly, Suki. So it's just really funny to me how often old people like they're like, "Oh no, the world's gone to shit," and it's like, no, it's always been that way. Here, let me show you what it was like in the like 1400s. Anyways,
Tell me about yourself.
Me? Oh, surely you have something more
That's my daily
interesting to
rant.
talk about.
Oh, come on, Gran.
All right, dear. What do you want to hear?
yeah. It's not their fault. Like they just screw up, but it's always really funny to me. And like, I'll have conversations with my dad, and he's like, "Oh, blah blah blah, all this stuff going on." And I was like, "That's been going on since like when you were a kid." He was like, "It wasn't like this at all when I was a kid." And I'll just start listing off stuff that he probably didn't realize was going on in his own neighborhood. And he's like, "Oh my God, you're right."
What do you do all day?
You know how I love to knit and work in my garden? I also take long walks. It's the only way to keep an old body like mine from stiffening up.
You're not old.
Oh, don't be foolish. I'm older than the hills.
Tell me how you met Granddaddy.
I met Harrison at a church revival. There was a traveling preacher back then, a big fella named Reverend Jim. I even remember his slogan, "Come to me to find your way." Your granddad was sitting right behind me and my girlfriend Alma, and at one point, old Reverend Jim was flinging his hair around with his fire and brimstone antics, and the base of it, one of those small add-on do's for man, went flying off. I swear, Harrison and I were the only ones that noticed. We both started laughing to beat the band. Everyone looked at us like we were a couple of loonies. It was then I knew that he was for me.
Father, is Cube sentient?
How you feeling these days?
Fit as a fiddle, and don't you worry your head about it.
Just tell me anything at all.
I had your father when I was 22. The doctors told me I couldn't have any more after him, so I'm afraid I spoiled him rotten.
Tell me anything at all.
Just tell me anything at all.
I never loved any man but your grandfather, and I never will.
That sounds
Nothing,
ominous.
never mind.
All right, dear.
Tell me about our family.
Who would you like to hear about? Your granddad, your father, or your mother?
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad immigrated to America when he was 21. He worked his way through school.
Wait.
And we had your father, Philip.
Wait. She had his father when she was 20? Is that what she said? And his father immigrated when he was 21, went to school, and then got married to her. So he was at least like, I'd say 25. Actually, that's not too bad. Maybe not. I don't know. They're very young. Times are different.
Tell me about my father.
Your father was my only child. How we adored him. Philip suffered from terrible nightmares, just like your granddad did. They were 2 peas in a pod.
It's more so that their age difference, like they probably got together, unless they married like immediately, they probably got together when she was like 18 and he was like 25. It's less about when she had the kid and more about their age difference. Hard capture Sakura is wild and do what now? Right now.
Tell me about my mother.
Your mother was Margaret Templeton when your father met her. She came from a very wealthy Creole family in New Orleans. She was beautiful and reckless. She was madly in love with your father, of course, but I also think she liked defying her family. Since you're so interested in family history these days, why don't you go by St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 and visit the family tomb? It would be a sweet gesture.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. It's really weird. My parents are 8 years apart, 9 years apart, something like that. It's still really wild to me to think about. That's a pretty big age difference. Like, it's one thing if they were both, like, in their 30s or something like that. Like, being, I don't know, like, 30 and, like, 40 is one thing. But being, like, 18 and 28 or something like that, that's a little weird. Which one did I just click on? Oh, God. Oh, God, chaos. That's a big sweat drop right there. Who did I just click on? This
Tell
one?
me about my mother.
Your mother's family refused to give her money after the marriage. All she had left was a modest trust fund from a great aunt, who happened to like Philip. The remainder of your mother's trust fund became yours when she died. That's what you used to open your bookshop.
You know, you get prettier every time I see you.
You.
I don't have access to one of the options. Just gonna keep
Tell
clicking
me
stuff
something
till it
about
comes up.
Granddad.
Your granddad supported me and your father with bookkeeping. I'll tell you what, though, he hated every minute of it. Didn't really like bookkeeping one bit.
Why'd he do it?
Maybe that was why he had the worst luck with jobs.
Oh.
The nights he'd come home afraid to tell me he'd lost another. And I would tell him it didn't matter to me. But he felt ashamed, Gabriel.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Harrison was only 36 when he died. Your father was 8 years old at the time.
Alright, we can do some
Your
math.
granddad was
He was
hit by a
28.
streetcar in the business district. Took me nearly a year to believe he was really gone.
I'm sorry, Gran.
I know you are, dear.
The age thing is coming together. I'm supposed to click on, it says talk about blah blah, and it says ask her about Heinz Ritter. And Heinz Ritter hasn't showed up yet, so.
Tell me about my mother.
The Templetons are all gone now. Every last one of them. They never wanted anything to do with us, of course. What a waste.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Did you know that your granddad was a poet? He was! He wrote the most beautiful poetry for me when we were courting. I always thought he should have done something with that gift. But he was such a practical man.
Yeah, that's what it
Didn't
seems
believe in
like.
chasing after dreams.
Tell me about my father.
When Philip met your mother, it was love at first sight.
Oh, you know what?
Married 2 weeks later. Never looked at a girl seriously until then. And he looked at plenty. You have your father's way with women, Gabriel. And your granddad's.
Alright, it's possible I have to go do some other stuff first. It says walk to the attic.
I'm going to go up to the attic, Gran.
Be careful of the dust.
Oh my god. A whole rim of stuff to click on.
I think I'd take Daddy's sketchbook with me.
You know what's even worse about this game? It's like, there's stuff you have to click operate.
There is nothing to operate. That doesn't work.
Do I really look that desperate?
There's stuff you have to operate. Stuff you have to, like, open.
Gabriel's not quite up.
Or push. Stuff you have to, like, hand icon over.
There's nothing I want in there.
let's see. Operate the clock. Move the dragon to the top.
The ring of symbols does not appear to have any mechanical function, but it does move. Gabriel doesn't want it. A ring of 6 symbols surround the face of the clock. A sword, a sun, an angel, a noose, an eclipse, and a dragon. The ring of...
Good. Move. Okay, hold on. Move the clock hands to 3.
Gabriel cannot... Gabriel doesn't want... It's the minute hand. The hands do not... There's no one. The key should stay. Nothing happens.
Oh. Oh.
Granddaddy, you old fox.
Blah, 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 blah.
Gabriel does.
Wait,
Gabriel. The letter is addressed to Heinz Ritter, whoever that is.
Whoever that is.
Gabriel can...
That's it. Take a load off, huh?
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
He's still not in here.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad immigrated.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about...
Your father, Philip.
Tell me about...
Your...
Tell me... Tell me... I'm...
I know.
Tell me some...
Did you know that your...
Tell me...
When Phil, you went
Tell me...
over the police,
Tell me...
your granddad, he painted almost in...
Tell me...
You...
Tell me... Tell me...
I don't...
Tell me...
I don't know.
Tell me...
Always...
Tell me about...
I don't...
Tell me... Tell me some...
I don't...
Gah. Yeah, I have to keep checking different walkthroughs.
The letter is written in German, but Gabriel determines what he can about it. It was sent from a place called Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. The letter is addressed to mein Sohn Heinz, and signed Wilhelm Ritter. One of the reoccurring words strewn throughout the letter is the word Schattenjäger. The only thing that Gabriel can decipher about the letter is a sense of urgency in the handwriting and in the heavy use of quill-tipped bold strokes and underlining.
God. None of the guides say to read the letter. Out of the 3 guides I've been through here, literally none of them say anything about actually reading the letter. In fact, this one just says, operate the key, get the photograph and the letter from the secret drawer, exit the view of the clock and walk downstairs. Ask Grandma about, and then like this stuff.
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
See, I had to read the letter for it to be like, bam, 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 bam.
Do you know anyone named
Ba,
Heinz
ba, ba,
Ritter?
ba.
Heinz Ritter. Oh, Gabriel. Where did you hear that name?
I found a letter in Granddaddy's clock.
I promised I'd never tell you or your father. But I suppose it doesn't matter now.
Tell me, Gran.
Your granddad's name was Heinz Ritter before he came to America.
What?
He changed it to Harrison Knight legally when he arrived.
Oh.
Why did Granddad change his name?
I don't know. I tried to ask him about his family, his life before America, but he didn't want to talk about it. He never even told me about his name change. I found out one day when I saw his passport in a drawer. Since he obviously found it painful, I never questioned him about it. But I'm sure there wasn't trouble with the law. Granddad was the best man I ever knew.
Grandma, he was a mass murderer. He killed thousands of people.
Didn't Granddad ever say anything about his past or his family?
And there's
Only
no
that
way
his
he would ever
family
do that.
was crazy, and that he never wanted to see them again. He believed in some family curse, thought that he could spare Philip and Philip's children from what he called old nightmares. Whatever Harrison wanted to spare you, though, it cost him plenty. He never did sleep well, and he would often get a far-away, guilty look in his eyes. He was wrestling with something he thought he should be doing, someplace he thought he ought to be. I don't know how he could think that he should be anywhere but with me and our child. It's a terrible way to live.
Hey, Bucky, how's it going?
Do you know anything else about Heinz Ritter?
I've told you all I know about your granddad's past.
We're only not even an hour into this. This game is like going way downhill for me. And I'm only holding on to the fact that like people keep several people told me it's a really good game. At this point my expectations are like I'm at the floor. Like we're right at the floor with this game.
Well, Gran, I better get going.
Yeah, it's not starting out very good at all.
Dear.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, we'll go through the whole thing and we'll see how it turns out. Can't even talk to Grandma. Point click roll. It can't possibly get any worse, graphics. There's no way. Suddenly Great Grandma pops out. Suddenly it gets worse. Well, we're at the police station, so... The music so far has been really good. I like the music.
Got a second, officer? What can I do you for?
Well, apparently, Bucky, they actually made a 20th anniversary edition. I don't know what that one looks like. I assume the graphics are even better.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Me? Nothing. I'm a Catholic boy.
What do you know about the Voodoo Murders?
I'm not allowed to give out information on police cases.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I'll tell you, I'm glad as hell it's not Mardi Gras. If it weren't for that 1 month a year, being a cop in New Orleans would be a real pleasure. As it is, I'd rather stick behind this desk.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Can't say that I have, but it sounds dirty.
Tell me about yourself.
Who, me? I'm the Desk Sergeant Frick. Why?
Frick.
Rick?
That's right. You got a problem with that?
Not at all.
What a name.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's out of the crime scene. Sorry.
Blah, 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 blah.
Where is the crime scene? Is it related to the Voodoo Murders?
Crime scene information is police confidential.
Frickin'
You
Frick.
don't need any more looky-loos than are probably already there.
Looky loose.
About Detective Mosley.
I told you he's not here.
I don't know where you're going with this chaos.
I was supposed to pick up some photos from Detective Mosley at the front desk.
Is that right? And who are you?
My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Yeah, I got something for you, all right. Soon as you're done talking, I'll give it to you.
This guy's been the best character so far.
Tell me about yourself.
You see that front door?
Yeah?
Well, I watch people come in. See this book?
Yeah?
Well, I write people's names in it, see? People that bother me.
Why does this book say Death Note on the front?
Put your name in this book.
I think not.
That's what I thought.
Like this
There's
guy.
that envelope for you, Gabriel Knight.
Thanks.
Not in a good way, though. In a character in a video game way.
The envelope has Gabriel's name written on it, misspelled. Gabriel opens the manila envelope and finds 2 photographs.
Look at this photograph.
The photo of Mosley reads, "Cop nerd," to Gabriel's eyes. The murder photo has nothing written on it.
What a nerd.
The photograph of Mosley was apparently taken upon his graduation from the police academy. He had hair then. One of the photos from Mosley is an official Voodoo Murders.
That's the narrator
crime
voice.
scene shot. A graphic close-up of a victim. One of the
Let's see, Jackson Square. After talking to the surgeon, motorcycles were right. I love.
Homicide team attend.
Oh god. I love guides. This guide's been pretty promising so far. The one I'm using right now has the least number of ads on the page, which is why I'm using it. It also has the least amount of like BS written in there. But it says After talking to the desk sergeant in the police station, the motorcycle officer will arrive at the bottom right corner of the square. I mean, is this the bottom right of the square? Is that what it's referring to? This whole area is the bottom right? That's gotta be what it means. Alright, I'm supposed to find a mime. I just saw the word exit. Yeah. Technically, it's not wrong. But it still could get rather confusing. God dang it. Go. Oh, here we are.
Why, you nasty thing, you. I'll call the police, I will.
Love mimes.
Why, you nasty thing, you.
God dang it. No, 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 no! God dang it, I was trying to read the guide. F this old lady. Plucky. We have to beat the old lady. Stick. Oh god. Heck, dude.
You white-faced geek! You wanna eat my fist?
Whoa. You don't know, you don't. God dang it.
Hey, stop picking on me. I'll tell my dad.
Alright, new plan. Go all the way over here. I'll go to Grandma.
Hey, cut that out. I told you to stop that.
Elvis?
All right, mister. You want some of this?
Gabriel picks up the headset and listens.
Ambulance 911, have you located the crime scene? They've radioed for you 3 times.
Damn! Did you say it was north of the Lake Retreat Country Club?
South. Lakeside Drive north of Piedmont Pier, south of the country club.
Man, I don't know if it's the clouds out here today or what. Good thing this guy's already dead.
Everyone's having trouble. Must have been hallucinogens in the coffee this morning.
It's just so misty out here or something. Hey, I see a squad car. Got it, Molly.
Thank God. Have a good one, 911.
Interesting.
Stupid mime. Hey, you! Get away from that bike.
Sorry.
Is that Johnny Bravo? Johnny Bravo's come a long way. The crime scene.
The crime scene team is still at the site. Gabriel parks a bit out of the way and walks over to avoid adding to the general confusion.
That's a long trail of blood.
Hey, mostly.
Huh? Night, you wiener. I told you not to call me that.
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you find me?
Oh, I was just driving by.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the book. But don't tell anyone I let you see this, huh? It's another one. As you can see, same MO and no frickin' clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
That's disgusting. Isn't this a rather, public area for this kind of thing?
Yeah, they're frickin' ghosts, these guys. Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 expressway, but it is open to the public. No reports and nothing. Now, who the hell is that?
Plot thickens. Yo, it's anime. In a better ratio this time. Is that Prince?
Good day, Miss Getty.
What's going on, officer?
Detective Mosley, ma'am. We've got a little problem here, but nothing for you to be concerned about, Miss Getty.
I see. Thank you, detective. And good day, gentlemen.
Whoa, I'm in love.
Forget it. That's Molly again. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
Well, Lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Man, nobody ever sees or hears nothing. I told you. Besides, you just don't go around bothering people like her.
We've about wrapped it up, sir. It's another clean sweep.
Yeah, let's get the meat wagon moving then.
Do you want to leave an officer here, sir?
Nah, just leave the tape up for a few days.
Yes, sir. If you'll excuse us, sir, we'll take him away.
Stick around and take notes for the book if you want. Watch out for the muck in the water moccasins, though. I'll be back at the station. Stop by if you want to go over with Kate some more.
Thanks.
I like how you can tell that they're moving away from the microphone. Watch out for the water moccasins, you know, the ones that were over there. The what?
Gabriel does not particularly want to mess with the bloody sand.
Let me try to get this down.
The lines in the sand are fairly large. Magnification wouldn't make them any clearer. It's extremely big sand. Gabriel is already...
Says use the magnifying glass.
It's extremely big sand.
It says use the magnifying glass on the flat section of grass at the right side. Okay.
Gabriel.
Flat section of sand. Wait. Flat section of grass. Is this flat section of grass?
There's nothing worth It's very large grass. There doesn't seem to be any... There doesn't... It's very large grass.
I don't see a flat section of grass on the right side.
It's very large grass.
Oh my god.
It's very large. There are marks in the grass, as
Oh
though
my
some
God.
heavy wire object had been set there.
Who would have ever found this pixel playing this casually? What the F, Sierra?
Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to take the small iridescent scale.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me what kind.
Quetzalcoatl.
Is that clay? Yuck.
There's so many things to like click around on screen that are like just really arbitrary. Like you'd probably have to like click every single icon on like every single pixel on every single screen. Cause like I checked 3 or 4 areas over here in the grass before I actually got the right pixel. Sounds like Sierra, alright, yeah. Gamnon. Alright, well you guys figure out how to spell Gamnon. I'm gonna run to the restroom. So I'll be right back. Alright, Ben Jammin. Or Big Jammin? Big Jammin. That's the name of that guy. Big Gamin. Where am I? Excuse me. Go to the desk sergeant. Talk to him about Mosley.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
Tell me about yourself.
I hate people who ask stupid questions.
Oh. Oh wait, snakes.
Can I bother you?
Tell me about snakes.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What does this look like? A zoo? Never mind, don't answer that. No, I don't know nothing about no snakes.
Detective Mosley. Hard at work, I see.
Yeah, what is it, you wanker?
Whoa.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
There's voodoo that goes on in this city, sure. I looked into it a bit at the beginning of this case. But the voodoo stuff found at the crime scenes is all faked. It doesn't have anything to do with the real stuff. I know. I asked some experts. It's intimidation tactics, that's all.
Tell me about snakes.
Do you know anything about snakes?
The only thing I know about snakes is I don't like them.
Tell me about yourself.
For the book?
Sure, why not?
Okay, what do you want to know?
Got any hobbies?
Got any hobbies?
Yeah, making your life miserable.
I'm serious. Don't you shoot or chew or something like that?
No, I'm a freaking ballet dancer. Jeez. Yeah, I was #1 at the Louisiana State Fair Marksman Contest. I play trumpet, too. You know, put your lips together and blow.
Just tell me anything at all.
Remember how we used to play monkey in the middle? We used to piss off our senior year teacher. What was her name? Ms. McKelly? You'd act like you were gonna toss her an eraser or something. Then you'd throw it to me over her head. And we used to do it at your grand's, too. Like with the remote when she wanted to watch her soaps.
Yep, and it was a great way to pick up women in the library. Oh, those were the days.
You guys sound like a couple idiots.
Oh, nothing, never mind.
I don't want to know
It's
anything
your
about
guy.
either of you ever again. Pattern around the bodies.
Do you know anything about the patterns around the bodies?
Yeah, weird, huh? All 7 victims had those little marks around. We got all the marks on file, but we haven't figured out what, if anything, they mean.
Can I see the other 6 patterns?
Sure. People like that kind of stuff, don't they? Might make the book seem more mysterious. Go talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you could see the file.
Bum 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 bum. Insult him. Alright.
Have you ever called the hair club for men?
I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight.
Idiots.
The suit does. Gabriel should go to the counter to talk to the desk sergeant.
But he's right there.
Can I bother you again, officer?
What is it this time?
Oh, wrong person. This is Fricks, not Franks. It says ask Franks. Guy I read is Fricks. Are you Franks?
Can I ask you a few questions, ma'am?
I'm sorry, sir, but I really have to finish these reports.
Maybe it means Fricks. Franks. Frank. Exit the office and ask Franks for the file. Put the file in the box. What box? Smizzer frickin'.
Can I bother you again, officer?
What is it this time?
I'm here for the files.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office.
I probably missed some conversation topic. It said banana.
Talking to... Gabriel cannot see any way to pick that up.
Oh, wait. Oh, heck. I haven't had to use that command yet at all. Get me out of here.
I'll let you get back to it.
How long did this game take me? Infinity, because I would stop playing after like the third screen.
Hey, nice precinct.
Think so? That's peachy. That means more to me than you could know. Hey, it's a beignet guy.
Great, I'm starved.
Stay put, you. Hey, grab me 3, would ya?
Sure.
Thanks.
Gabriel can't do anything
Oh
with...
my god.
Excuse me, officer.
Yes?
Can you get a file for me?
What file would that be?
The Voodoo Murders file? Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if he said so.
Just take my word for it. He definitely said it.
There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area with it, okay?
Okay.
And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
Of course. I understand completely.
I'm gonna play through Lunar during trivia one day so that at least some of my friends will have played Lunar. Maybe know the answer to any of these questions. Saddens me. One of my favorite video game series of all times. It's unknown by so many. Put the file in the inbox. The file in the inbox. Y'all see an inbox anywhere?
There is no point in using the pattern that way.
I'm done.
Yeah, thanks.
It doesn't say anything about reading it. Give me the file back.
That file stays in this room.
I'm gonna read it just to make sure. Uh-huh. These are all star constellations?
The police file contains partial patterns from the first 6 voodoo
Is
murders.
this lost?
It's the official police file containing the partial patterns from the voodoo murders. The folder is marked with the warning not to leave the police station.
I'm done.
Yeah, thanks.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
I got those photographs you left for me.
Really? Great. What'd you think?
Astonishingly lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Got any more ideas for photos for the book?
A cop author photo might be nice.
You and me? Together?
Why not? Of course, you'll have to try to tone down your masculinity.
Well, okay. I'll call the police photographer.
Blah, 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 blah.
Franks, come here a minute, would you? Bring your camera.
What did you need, Detective Mosley?
We need a picture, please. And make it a good one, huh, sweetheart?
Sure, sweetheart.
Say, chintzy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
God, Knight, make it fast.
Let me see that file again. Just want to check this machine here.
Good whistling. It says to exit, so, whoa. Why does it randomly sometimes go really fast? George's Bookshop. Just gotta leave them hanging, yeah.
Lucy, I'm home.
Oh, joy.
Why is that randomly
Gabriel
going?
cannot open or close that.
Why is it randomly going really fast? Clock cycles. Alright, ask Grace. Oh.
Hey, kids.
Bruno, how nice.
Gee, a customer.
Of yours.
I haven't pressed any
hardly.
buttons.
How's the flower business?
Well, better than the used book business, I see.
Ow.
Rare books.
That explains why I so rarely see anyone in here. Are you going to sell me that wonderful painting of yours today?
Wow. It doesn't mention this guy anywhere. So I guess it doesn't matter.
How much would you give me for it, Bruno?
Gabriel, don't you dare sell your father's painting.
Well, I guess I don't need the money that badly.
From the looks of this shop, I'm sure you will, my boy. And soon.
So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics, for one thing. These books are unbelievable.
What can I say? I refuse to be bound by rules.
The strap marks on your bedpost speak otherwise.
What?
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Request research.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
Malia.
Could you see what you can find out about a woman named Malia Getty?
The name Getty sounds familiar. What's your interest in her?
Oh, just, stuff about the Voodoo Murders. If you could get an address...
They're murders. Right. I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
Can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Well... it's about closing time.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay?
Two Carmen San Diego questions in one day? Is this the intro again? Oh wait, is this the nightmares? Oh. Yeah, it's making sense. The intro makes sense now. He's having these nightmares. Day 72, 42. A mask I wore as I... Oh. Represents all the symbols on the clock. Oh.
Good morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen.
Oh.
So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh. It always does that. Never mind.
Ha, ha.
Did you dream about the fire and the hang guy and that lion thing last night?
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Getty?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Getty is incredibly gorgeous. I should have known you wouldn't go for a rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is...
Hey! Far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West England. That's a garden district, a state city.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Maliageti is the most dangerous-looking diversion I've ever seen. Ouch!
Ay, men.
Oi. Alright, I looked up this lady's VA because I recognize her VA. And, she's in a ton of stuff. Like regular people stuff. But nothing I've watched, I think, ever. In my whole life. I know I've seen her in something. Her name is, hold on, where is it? Leia Ramini? Leia Ramini. She was in a bunch of like TV shows that I've never seen. She was in a singular episode of Friends. Yeah, she's in King of Queens, but I've never seen that show. I'm wondering where I know her voice from, though. She was in Saved by the Bell. Alright, out of everything she was in, everything on this entire IMDb page, as far as I'm aware that I can remember, the only thing that I have seen that she is in is Saved by the Bell. So I have no idea why I would recognize her voice. Unless she's done stuff outside of what's listed on this IMDb. Oh, wait. She's in, Wait. Okay, hold on. There's a billion drop-down menus here. Oh, God. She was in a lot of random stuff. She played as herself in, like, a billion things. That, I'm not going to go through all these because there's a lot. I have no idea where I would know her from, though. But I recognize her voice for some reason. Read the newspaper. How do you read? Which one of these is to read?
Today's newspaper is on the counter. There is nothing moving that would do. Times-Picayune, dated June 19, 1993. A front-page article describes the most recent of the Voodoo Murders. Gabriel scans it but learns nothing new. The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the crimes is fake. Gabriel shivers. It looked real enough to him. Elsewhere, there's an article about the history of Jackson Square, called La Plaza d'Armas. Under French rule, it was used for executions, firing squads, hanging, even impalement and breaking on the wheel. Yikes. Of course, these days, it's mostly a hangout for tourists, street musicians, and local artists. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Chances of a dark star rising on this day. Do not trust your instinct.
I feel a dark star rising, all right. I'll be back later.
Have fun.
Both Broken Sword 3. Alright, Where are we going? The police station? '90s good.
Mostly my man.
Yeah, what is it, you wanker? Whew, it's hot in here. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink.
Yeah, somebody turned the thermostat all the way up to like 90.
Man, I'm hot.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee? You want coffee?
Should that surprise you?
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualifies.
So, I'm desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
That long?
All right, I'll go now.
Blah, 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 blah.
Don't touch anything while I'm gone.
Alright, touch everything while you're gone. Got it.
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
You don't have a microwave in your office?
Just drink this.
Thanks. Tons. I mean it.
Oh, I'm to impersonate a police officer. Won't be the first time. And before I go into this rich person's house, I want to say how much this is reminding me of read-only memories in a variety of ways. It's total points, probably. Most adventure games have a point system. I assume this guide gets us all of the points, so that'll let you know how far we are through the game.
Gabriel can't get inside unless he's invited. This door is pretty solid. The knocker is firmly attached to the front door.
May I help you?
May I help you? This game like Broken Sword? Broken Sword was a lot more interesting than this game. I mean, yes, in some ways, kind of. It's similar in that they're both adventure games and the art style is very similar. But it's not not
I'd like to see
really.
Malia Getty,
Yeah,
please.
Broken Sword is a good game.
I'm sorry.
So far, this
Unless
is
you have
not.
An appointment or official business, I cannot announce you. I do have official business. Really? Please tell me the nature of your business.
If I was a badge.
Those two objects.
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business. Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Giddy. Miss Giddy will see you. Right this way. Miss Giddy will be down shortly. Thank you.
What can I do for you, Detective?
You're not. I'm not the detective.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Giddy?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
Tell me about voodoo.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the Voodoo Murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced?
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh, well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
What?
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
I really don't know much about it. Isn't there some place in town that you can find out about that sort of thing? A museum or something?
I believe there is a museum.
Then maybe you should check there.
Blah, 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 blah.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen...
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
Quite sure.
What do you know about the Voodoo Murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake.
I didn't get any... It just says to ask her about voodoo and Lake Pontchartrain. And then flirt with her until you get kicked out.
Tell me about yourself.
I suppose I don't really have a choice. What do you want to know, Detective?
Tell me anything.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I do a lot of charity work around the city, primarily in the prison and reform system. I'm not a professional sociologist, but it does interest me.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
As you wish, Detective.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that. Brownish gold. It's so deep and rich. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job. I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear, I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry.
Thank you, God's Black Arm.
You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out. Robert? Show Mr. Knight out, please.
I most certainly will.
Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
What? Where are we going? The French Square? French Quarter, Jackson Square. Nice.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Yep, I mind, all right.
Why?
Because A, I don't know anything, and B, I'm busy.
Oh. Could I get a lucky dog, please?
Not now, I'm busy.
An unambitious person? In the 90s? Ah, amazing.
Thank you, narrator.
I have this gift certificate.
I'm busy.
It's
He
good
really
for
does.
$20 at St. George's Books, finest bookstore in New Orleans.
Really? I'll have to check it out sometime.
You could take this gift certificate with you, if you'll give me a lucky dog.
A lucky dog for a $20 gift certificate? Well, sure. Here you go.
Nice. We got a hot dog. The day is saved.
You wouldn't like a lucky dog by any chance.
Would I?
Would I?
Thanks, mister. You got any special requests? Let me know.
Got a hot dog, immediately gave it away. Alright, I don't eat the pork products, so fine with losing the hot dog. Is this like a rolly chair? Here out in the grass?
Hey, come back here. Hey!
You mentioned something about special requests.
Yeah. You got one?
Can you fit through the bars around the statue? Can you do the Nutcracker Suite in D minor?
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Can I? Just watch me.
Can I?
Good. There's something in there I can't quite reach. Come on. Can you reach that piece of paper?
Sure thing. Here you go. Yep. See ya.
Nice. So close, Claude. So close. Ah, there you go. When is Eternal Return making its return?
It's a technical drawing of Saint Louis Cathedral.
This belongs to you, doesn't it?
My drawing? How'd you get it?
Oh, it was a bit of a squeeze, but I hate to see you lose your work. I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I needed to draw these.
Say, do you think there's anything you can do with these patterns?
What do you need?
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
The pattern is probably circular, and there's some repetition in the elements. What is this from, anyway?
You'd never believe me.
Okie dokie. Well, there's... I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these...
I'll see what I can do.
Whoa. Is there an option to, like, leave? What is this? Interesting. Miss the tap dancing guy? Historical Museum. There we go. Historical Voodoo Museum.
Welcome, my friend.
Hello?
Welcome.
I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Nye, and I'll probably take you up on that.
How is the audio balance? It sounds like the music's still too loud to me. Fine. Let's see.
Could I ask you some questions?
That is why I am here.
Tell me about voodoo.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
Tell me about historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr.
Board
Knight,
up?
and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, It is a religion born of the African slave trade. But African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively.
The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importing of slaves from that region.
I never realized this until just now, but I know absolutely nothing about voodoo. Like the actual historical, like, I don't know how much of what he's saying is real. I assume it's probably real, but I don't actually know. And it's interesting to me because it's in so many different games and I've never bothered to look any of it up. Like, I know so much about alchemy from playing video games because I would go and like look it all up. And I learned so much about the Knights Templar and like looking up stuff after playing Broken Sword. But like, I mean, I've played a ton of different games with voodoo. Of course, Monkey Island's always the one that comes to mind, but it's never seemed interesting enough to me to want to actually look it up and like deep dive information on it. But now I kind of want to.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves.
Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans.
Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou Saint John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Let's go.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
The real thing?
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Ba 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 ba.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
I've given you as much detail as I can, Mr. Knight. Look around the museum if you desire more information.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaus, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire. When the Widow Paris began to practice, there were many voodooans in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The widow Paris was a hairdresser for rich Creole ladies. She also paid household servants to spy for her. Between the two, she knew everything about everyone who mattered in New Orleans. She was not above using her information to appear psychic, to intimidate, or even to blackmail.
You sound as though you admire her.
For a black woman in the mid-1800s to gain power is an incredible thing, Mr. Knight. However, she achieved it.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
Tell me more.
She kept a pet snake, danced with it too. She held traditional voodoo ceremonies out by the lake. She took herself seriously, very seriously. But she was not above selling tickets for her events to curiosity seekers. She was not above using voodoo any way she could to make money. That is for certain. But if she had been in another line of work, in another age, that would have been interpreted as entrepreneurial genius rather than a sign of fraudulence.
Hey, you don't need to convince me. I admire anyone that can actually make a living.
Make a living. So Suki, this is a LucasArts game. LucasArts were at this point in the adventure game history, I guess. LucasArts was willing to put in a lot of money, yeah, for the adventure game department. And so, oh no, this is Sierra. Oh, well then I have no idea. See, I was thinking it was LucasArts because it's got Mark Hamill in it. So, well, Mark Hamill does the voice of somebody in this game. But this was during a time, yeah, this is Sierra. This was during another time where adventure games were pretty popular. Sierra had a lot. And of course they had the Scum engine that they developed to allow them to kind of pump out games. So they probably more than likely spent a lot of their budget on the voice acting, since they didn't have to rewrite the engine every time. But yeah, this was like the golden age of adventure gaming. I am impressed that they had... Yeah, I am impressed that they had some pretty... I noticed a few of the names when we were watching the intro credits for some like famous VAs, but I don't know that those people were that famous when this came out, so I don't know. They're famous people now.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
It was Marie Laveau who defined the voodoo that is truly and uniquely the voodoo of New Orleans. She invented hundreds, if not thousands of spells, potions, charms, and incantations. These form the basis of the modern practice, not to mention the folk tradition of voodoo.
There were some, yeah, there was quite a number of male and female VAs. Or Phantasmagoria too. Yeah, I've only ever seen those games. I've never played them myself. I don't know that I ever will stream them. Even though Blucky has asked me like 1,000 times to stream, I think the first game. I don't know that I'll ever play them. They don't look like my kind of thing.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
Her daughter, Marie Glapion, took over when the widow Paris got old. Most people thought it was the same Marie Laveau. Both Maries encouraged that point of view. The widow Paris died in 1881. Marie Glapion had been reigning a long time by then. After the death of the widow Paris, other voodoo queens surfaced, and by 1890, the cult was fragmented again. Marie Glapion just sort of faded away.
How much you want to bet the girl that we just saw in the rich family house is the daughter of the second one? I guess the granddaughter of Marie Laveau.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery number 1. It is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No, but the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
Na-na-na-na.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or gree-gree. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo, and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city.
Forget about voodoo and hoodoo. What can you tell me about voodoo?
African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in their religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I, personally, am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo. But it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Yeah, tell me about voodoo. That's what I'm interested in.
Tell me more about current voodoo.
There are many voodooians in New Orleans. They often do business selling gree-gree, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. Perhaps you would like to meet a voodooian. We refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to a local practitioner, Magentia Moonbeam.
Sure, I'd love to meet her.
She lives on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine. I will call her and tell her you might stop by.
Great, thanks.
What's going on back there?
That doesn't seem to work. The doorway is already open.
Didn't know you could stack that many bells together.
Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Wait, hold on. Are you for real, LCC? I assume he's put some thought into that. But like, that's one of those things that like, you get like a game or two in and you end up regretting, like everyone in chat. Well, so the thing about streaming a game like that is that everyone in chat just brings up like the references and stuff like that. They just constantly say, yeah, they just bring up the fact that like gear stuff exists. And so halfway through your playthrough of like the first or second game, you end up kind of starting to regret, I guess, not playing Gears first, essentially, because people just keep bringing it up in chat. It's not a matter of whether or not it's actually, like, really relevant. It's the fact that your chat, and like, or his chat, or whoever's chat, is just going to keep bringing up, yeah, you should probably play Xenogears, just over and over and over again. That's the kind of game it is. He'll hear, oh, you've never played Xenogears? Just like 500 times per stream. Let's see.
Excuse me, sir.
What you need, boy?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
Oh, 500 of them knew you. Alright, tell me about Marie.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of New Orleans. A powerful voodooine and a powerful sorceress. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leaving offerings and things. Then there's the tourists.
It's not bad, yes, you Walker.
Curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from the Voodoo Museum, he's here at least once today. But Marie Laveau's tomb ain't the only one the believers visit and make markings and leave offerings at.
It's a God's Black Arm. Like, I don't want to sound negative towards Tonic in saying this, but Tonic seems like he doesn't know a lot about games of that era, and that he has this like certain opinion about him that's completely wrong. That's what it seems like to me. Because like he keeps streaming or playing all these different games, and he's like, "Oh, this is not at all how I thought this was." Like even stuff with Star Ocean, he played the heck out of Star Ocean 1, and even going through Star Ocean 2, he's like, "Oh, I was not expecting this or that." But that might be part of his logic in not wanting to stream Xeno Gears, is because of his Star Ocean 2 playthrough. But I definitely I try not to stream any point-and-click adventure games that are just text, because I don't want to read out the text. So I typically try to pick ones that have a ton of VA. So I could understand him maybe wanting to do Xeno Gears or Xeno Saga because it is all VA'd, but I don't know. I have no idea. That's just my observation.
What else can you tell me about Marie Laveau?
Her tomb's on all our tombs. Even the Baptists come round here to gawk. Course, you may not know this, but some of the real serious voodoo types argue that she ain't in this one at all, but down in an unmarked tomb in number 3. It's all the same to me, I say. Save me a lot of cleanup work if she weren't here, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't know, Claude. Kirky, you don't want me to read all the chat? Question 89. Final Fantasy VII. What is the feeding name for Gishel Greens in the Chocobo Ranch? Let's see. Other marked tombs. There we go.
You said there were other marked tombs?
Yep. I seen bull hearts left on tombs and a nest of vulture feathers, plates of peas and corn green, animal parts, human parts even, it looked like. Male parts, if you get my meaning.
Is it me, Kirky? One of your favorite streamers that loves to read the entire chat messages word for word, and it pains you?
Stick to it.
What other tombs get marked? Can you show me?
No, I ain't one for naming names. I don't like to encourage that kind of thing. It's distressing to the families, and rightly so. Don't know how that sort of thing gets started. Why folks come to start leaving stuff at that one spot. But it happens all the same.
Thank you, Seawalker. Also, hello, Amy. She sells seashells by the seashore.
What else can you tell me about Marie Laveau?
Boy, go out and buy a book if you really want to know. I ain't too sure my facts these days nohow.
It says get a brick. You guys see a brick anywhere? Get the brick and use the sketchbook on the markings. I don't see a brick. Use our sketchbook though. Is this my sketchbook?
I want a copy of these strange marks.
I have to open King's Quest 6. Is that a brick? Alright, what question are we on? 91. The next section seems like a lot of lore dump. I don't know if we want to go through it or save it for next time to kind of help us remember what we were doing. I think that feels like the best choice. The next section seems like a good place to begin.